fighting at Fort Campbell in Kentucky. It was a UFC fight for the troops. I don't think they do them anymore.
Yeah,
fortunately.
that sucks.
But it was cool because we stayed in Nashville, then they bust you. It was like an hour drive to Fort Campbell. And we fought in one of the hangars, and it was only the troops were allowed. It wasn't open to the public. They weren't serving booze. They weren't doing all the like normal things. It was like all these guys were in uniform, and they were like the coolest crowd to fight for because they were hyped.
Oh,
and you knew like it wasn't a bunch of just drunk people like spitting everywhere and everything. Like these guys like really respected it and were big fans of it. And Tim Kennedy was the main event. So they were like, it was cool as an experience, but the actual like back end side of the fighting part was rough because
I was hearing you talk about like they had 2 temporary trailers.
Yeah,
but it was for all the fighters on the card to warm up in.
Yeah, and you know how big a temp trailer. So when you're thinking about like warming up, like kicking high pads and stuff, I mean the temp trailer is what, like 8 feet across.
Yeah,
I mean there was no room to move. We were all piled in there, and yeah. And then once they were like, "You're up, Camozzi, you're up. Let's go." We walked out of the trailer, and we had speakers going. All the fighters were cool with it. Like, yeah, let's play some music. Let's get the energy up. You step out of the trailer, and there was just a van with the doors open. They're like, "Get in." And it was like, "What? Where are we going?" They drive you down the runway, silent. The driver wasn't even listening to anything. It was just dead silent. And I'm sitting between my 2 coaches, like sweating with my gloves on. So just like total mood killer.
Like a prison transport.
Yeah. And then as soon as you get to like the opening of the hangar, you get out of the van, they're like, "All right, you're walking." Like they already had the music going, and you just get out of the van.
Fresh into your walkout.
Yeah. That part was like tough is when it comes to like performing, I guess. But the overall experience was really cool.
And the troops had to be so stoked.
Oh yeah. And then they had like, I think they are, I mean, I might mess these up, but like Black Hawk helicopters in the air around the cage, and like the setup was cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's well, and I feel like too, like that's just the right thing. You get a call to be on a card like that. You're like, heck yeah.
Yeah. And it was awesome because my ex-father-in-law actually, who passed away a couple years ago, he got to go because he was a retired Green Beret, and he had actually flown out of Fort Campbell before. He had some like old buddies that were still in the military that came, like high up military guys, and they came. So it was really cool because he still had military clearance.
Sure.
I think they let him come on.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool, like experience, because just knowing that he like flew out of there to go overseas, and yeah, it was fun. I mean, I got fucked up a little bit, so that's not good. I went to the hospital for the rest of the night, but
yeah,
I got a they called it a retinal abrasion. It happened in the first round. I tore something in my eye, and my eye filled with blood. So you couldn't really see the blood, but it filled and I couldn't see anything. So I was blind for like a month.
Oh my God, dude, that has to be a real wicked feeling.
It was weird. Like one punch hit me, and then I was like, all right. I thought my eye swelled up where I was cut.
Right.
Because sometimes when blood's running down, you can't see. And between rounds, I'm asking my coach, like, "Am I cut?" He's like, "No." And I was like, "Well, I can't see." Then he was like, "All right, well, go get him."
All right, got it, coach. Let's go.
Yeah, and I mean, I wouldn't have wanted him to call it anyway. It's like I could still see with one eye, but it wasn't painful, but that was probably one of the worst injuries I've had.
Sure.
I had to sleep sitting up for like a month because they wanted it to drain. I had to take all these eye drops. I didn't have to have surgery or anything, but just the inconvenience of it. I had to wear an eye patch for a bit, so I looked like a pirate. It was a terrible eye patch. It wasn't even like a cool pirate one. It was like taped to my head.
Yeah. But I think you could pull off a cool pirate one.
Hey, I switched it for that after a minute. I went to like a costume store and got one. I don't know where else you buy an eye patch. I never thought about that.
That's the only place you go.
Yeah.
Party City, let's go, baby.
Yeah, but that one was awesome. I wish they would actually do the fight for the troops more.
Guys, thanks so much for watching the clips. If you would like, please subscribe. Also, if you'd like more clips like this, click here. Or if you'd like to enjoy this whole episode, click here.